Welcome, now Fine Fires YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about A Quiet Place coming to Halloween Horror Nights. Shh. That's what this poster is right behind me. A Quiet Place is the first house that was announced for Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood and Universal Orlando. But before we go into this, it's a podcast that was dropped from Halloween Horror Nights YouTube. It was people from Orlando that were really going deep into detail. We actually got some of the creative that kind of, I guess they call it, unveiled what's behind the curtain a little bit of what's to come. A Quiet Place is an interesting one because there's a lot of dynamics, like different dynamics coming to life. You know, the concept of quiet noise being what attracts these creatures, and the story that they're trying to tell from the movie and bringing those scenes to life. And it's two movies, so they're doing the first Quiet Place 1, Quiet Place 2. It's going to be interesting. Those are really good movies. I did enjoy those. I had a chance to kind of revisit what John Murdy was saying about this house a while back. This was June 6th, so quite a bit ago. It is going to be at the Walking Dead location. We got right here. That's going to be perfect for controlling the sound and lighting for this IP. And he says, yes, I thought so. He also mentioned that he turned this space, and this is John Murdy, he turned this space or this location into a black box. So pretty much a soundstage, I guess you could call it. Right here's a good question. Is there going to be animatronic aliens? And he put, good idea. Which I interpret that as, yes, there's going to be animatronics. Also, too, right here, ASL, and staying true to the film, and he commented, ASL will be used. It's interesting when you really study the film. There is sound. It just tends to be more environmental. So we got a little bit more on all of that. And sign language, it's going to be key to this house in a sense, because that's how you communicate. There's creatures all surrounding you, and you got to stay quiet. This is a video. We got a direct. Let me see if it gives his name where they introduce him. Right here. It's
So.
Is it? Whoop, went a little too far back. There we go. Charles Gray, Senior Show Director, Entertainment in Universal Orlando. I'm going to fast forward a little bit so when they finally start going deep into the house and what they start saying, I kept wondering how they were going to pull this house off. We'll go into some images and stuff. I brought some up from IMDb of the movie, what kind of scenes could come to life. You know, we got 2 parts, so there's quite a bit to work with of what'll be a good thing to come to life in this house. One thing I will say about A Quiet Place, it's about tension. And I guess like a build up to something. Usually it's the monster or some situation where they are put in a position where you gotta make noise. That's kind of, I feel like, what's going to be coming to life in this house for Quiet Place. But let's hear a little bit of what Charles has to say. I'm going to say, all right.
Easter eggs as you go through also. Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, we were trying to figure that out. We were like, we all watched the film.
Yeah.
We're like, what moments are going to be brought to life in this house? So it's going to be fun for us to go through and be like, oh, I remember that, or the nail, or whatever. So that's awesome.
And there was a couple of moments, because I recently just watched the movie to catch up on it for my first time, actually, and loved the films. They were incredible. And there was those moments I was watching it, I was like, okay, which scenes can we see come to life? There's some parts I'm like,
that's what I was thinking. What scenes are going to be brought to life? Because there is a lot of great scenes in Quiet Place 1 and 2 that could come to life in the Horror Night house.
This is a really unique concept to have, because the world of A Quiet Place, it's silent. It's supposed to be silent. But we know Halloween Horror Nights, it's quite the opposite of that. So bringing something like that to life should be challenging, but also really rewarding to see the fans get to go through.
You know, and it's a partnership, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I said before, it is kind of
here we go. This is a big deal what he's about to say, because I guess you could say it's like an interactive house where you're playing a role in this environment, this movie. You're in a Quiet Place environment. This is so cool. I'm really starting to fall in love with this idea.
This contract that we have with the guests, as much as you want to invest in your experience, it's really up to you, right? To decide, am I going to play it like the film, or am I just going to run through with my head down and scream the whole time? That's up to you, right? That's up to you. But it should be fun either way. Another thing too that I'm very excited about is we have the use of ASL in the house. And I love how the film really took what could be a stumbling block for some people communicating and turn it into this valuable asset, right? And so when I was talking about it with our production partners, we've decided to, and with the D&I team, really using this as an educational piece, because I think it's always fun to learn new languages anyway. I mean, I have an app on my phone, and I'm dabbling in Spanish, but but I'm really bad at it. But it's fun, right? You get to learn the different, the ways the words work. And in ASL, it's really cool because it's like this. It's always kind of beautiful too, right? So we're going to teach the cast. We're going to teach the characters. We're going to have representation in the cast along with interpreters that'll be backstage with us too. And so eventually, I believe we'll probably all be breaking with other houses too. Eventually, my idea is to kind of get it to the other houses too, the other cast. And so we'll all have this like little bit of lingo and learning as we go through. That's cool. It's a character into its own too. So I'm very excited about that.
That seems like a huge undertaking.
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Like anytime there's a big undertaking, I'm like, it'll be fun. It'll be cool, guys. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
So there you go. ASL, a huge part of what we're going to be walking through, part of the story, the emotion that's going to come out of this house, because it's a big part of A Quiet Place. Honestly, that it's literally what we're watching throughout the movie. ASL.
So going back to the films, though, do you have like a personal favorite moment from the film when you were watching that you're like, oh, like we have to do this, like this has got to come to Halloween Horror Nights?
One thing that we inserted later afterwards was the father, and that moment when he says "I love you" before he gets killed.
Oh, I want to go. Do I have a picture of that scene? I think it's right here, right? Oh my Lanta. Oh, it's just crazy to think back. I love John Krasinski in this role. Just Quiet Place 1 and 2 are so good. So freaking good.
It's dramatic. It doesn't typically live in an HHN world to have these other emotions attached to it, but I felt it was important. We're already experimenting with the house, right? We're already experimenting. So why not use this as an excuse to have another experiment? Let's put a little bit of heart, maybe even a tear in there as she pops out and then he pops out and then he says, "I love you." In sign language before he gets taken out.
Wow.
I don't know.
How do they make that come to life? How is like, are we going to watch this scene and then like a creature, like a stilt walker comes out or something? It's this scene, right? If I'm not mistaken, from part 1, it's that scene right there. Dude, we're gonna see some crazy environments in this Quiet Place house. I honestly don't know how they're gonna fit this all in. I don't know how they're gonna fit this all in at The Walking Dead. I just don't get it. It's so crazy. Oh man. It's going to be cool because I guess from the beginning, we're going to see the whole family, the dad, the mom, the 2 kids. And then I guess, a baby's going to come to life. There's just so many good scenes that could come in Quiet Place. One thing I was contemplating in my head, how things are going to play out. We don't really get to see the creature too much in A Quiet Place 1 and 2. It's kind of like it happens at the very end where we finally officially get to see like a full, that's what it looks like, Quiet Place 2, it's more out in the open, but maybe the first part of this movie or the first part of the maze, it's going to be like subtle references to the alien kind of thing. maybe the aliens kind of just like the plot story to move it forward to part 2. Or does part 2 start and then it goes to part 1? Oh my gosh, I don't know how they're gonna do all this. I guess it'll be in chronological order, but man, all right, let's hear this.
I'm kind of getting the feels there. So yeah.
Did you have any like other pinch me moments in there, like as you were working with all this stuff, where like I can't believe this is actually coming to life? I can't believe we're actually getting to work on this.
I actually saw the sculpts.
Oh, okay.
And they're massive.
Yeah,
massive.
Wow.
Massive. He's not even saying big. He's saying that essentially these aliens that we're gonna see are massive. Oh my god, that these things are massive. I don't know what Orlando's gonna do. Obviously this is Orlando, but I could only imagine a lot of that life they're trying to bring to that maze is also coming to our maze, but we're getting the John Murdy version, you know. This is just exciting.
Wow.
Huge.
How are you going to bring those to life?
With Matt.
This is the cool part. And it started making sense to me now how they're going to do it. Because, you know, like I said earlier, you don't really see the aliens all so much in their full form. It's like kind of like in passing by very quick. Listen to this.
Mad science. No, I like it. You're going to see them in different iterations. They are so large and so big that, you know, there might be a time where just like this giant, about this big chomping head comes at you.
Yeah.
You know, there might be times where it might just be a claw. We're going to see it in full. We're going to see the head plates kind of open up and you see that cochlea inside when it's listening. So we're going to see it in all different ways. And that way it doesn't get boring too, right?
Yeah,
you don't want to say, oh, there's another one. There's another one. You want to get them right on top of you the whole way through. So
Crazy.
That's wild.
Crazy. Or like shocked. We're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Freaking cool. So I guess the way that this house is going to play out, at least parts of it in the beginning, is maybe like a hand comes out at some point in time of the monster. At another point in time, you have to be as quiet as possible, but you have this big earpiece and it's listening for noises and it's a participation maze. So can you stay quiet? And maybe if you make noises, maybe the head like turns at you and comes at you. Or maybe it's like this ear part is happening on the wall or something. And if you make noises, a stilt walker comes out. But maybe if you go through the maze again and you stay quiet, nothing happens. That's what I'm interested. If you go through this maze and you do play the part of staying quiet, will nothing happen? And you're just going to walk through the maze unscared? These are just the questions. Or does Halloween Horror Nights just put you in a position, which this movie puts you in, with the baby and where this guy breaks his leg? I don't think they have a picture. Yeah, where he breaks his leg or they get stuck in the... There's lots of situations. Well, this is where like the aliens first land in this area. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, legs broken. She's like in the basement. Let me see. They're running out of air. There's just so many situations in this movie where like sound is just, you can't help it. You're gonna make noise. I'm guessing we're for sure going to be walking on grass like that, right? Or sand. We're going to be walking on sand. It's just so part of the movie when you really think about it. Oh, man, the toy. Sheesh. Yeah, I'm guessing this scene right here that you're looking at, where the brother passed away, that'll be a part of this maze. It's just so iconic of this story. You know, the loss, the grief of that. Let me go. Do they show kind of more towards the ending here? This scene, it's not really like, I'm guessing how this maze is going to end is where the daughter figures out that noise is obviously what could take these monsters down in a certain frequency. So we're going to be experiencing a lot of that frequency kind of thing at the very end of this maze. And maybe we'll start seeing like some of these monsters just kind of like hurting, I guess you could say. So you're like walking into a room of her using the sound and the monster's just hurting. I don't know if the monster has a name or not. Oh, man. It's going to be an interesting walkthrough. Let me play a little bit more of this, and I'll give my final thoughts on all of this.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. And also, a lot of the other teams that are involved, you know, we have all the different disciplines, audio, lighting, effects. Everybody's working hand in hand. And there's a lot of, like I said, this is an experiment. So a lot of us are really going to be camping out in that house before it opens and redoing things, figuring out a better way to do it, repositioning. How does this sound here? You know, a lot of what we do, we've done for so long that sometimes some things are kind of second nature. So
the big takeaway from all of this is this Quiet Place house is a big experiment. It's like they're going into uncharted territory. I think that's the best way to say it. I'm very excited. We're going to be going through a house that you could almost say hasn't been done, especially at Halloween Horror Nights, where being quiet is part of the game. And I'm looking at it as like you being quiet is part of the story. You know how I feel? This is how I feel. I feel like this is like one of those Goosebump books where you're like, I could go to page 15 from this one, from where I'm currently reading, or you could go and change the storyline and go to page 80. And then at that point in time, it's like you could go to page 112, or you could go to page like 120, and it goes into a different storyline. So I feel like these walkthroughs are going to be just different every time, because maybe somebody in your group just can't help but make noise throughout the whole maze, and it just kind of triggers the whole maze, and you see things pop up that you didn't see the other time where you were quiet through a couple of the scenes. I'm curious to see if like Hollywood in general, are we going to be able to play with it? I want to be with the group where we're all quiet. You have to be quiet. I want to see what it looks like if we're quiet. And then I guess at one point I want to see it. I want to see this house where people just can't be quiet and you're just triggering. Because if you're not quiet, you're going to die. These monsters are coming at you. That's the whole point of this house. I want to end with the trailer from Halloween Horror Nights. Let me show this just to get the hype going even more. I hope this video is hyping you up for this house.
Audio visual activity in your area.
If they hear you, they hunt you.
If they hear you, they hunt you. So there you go. This is going to be a full-on interactive maze. That's how I'm interpreting all of this. And it's, dude, honestly, I wasn't hyped, but now that we're getting more info, I guess you like it's just kind of coming to life. I see the vision. I see where they're trying to go with this. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. And you know, what I got from this trailer is we're going to go through this house, obviously, with the attempt to be quiet. And I think with the actors that are going to be in this maze, they're going to be put in that situation where, like right there, where he hits something. And he's going to trigger the monster. The monster is going to come out in some type of form above you, from the side. I don't know. And can your group stay quiet? If they can't, I'm guessing the monster is going to rush us. I don't know what else to say. That's what the monsters do. They rush you. So very cool. Very, very cool. It's really hard to pinpoint, what scenes they truly want to come to life in all this. The one that I was thinking, it's in actually Quiet Place Part 2. It's the very beginning. I wonder if there is enough space either here or in Orlando where the monsters touch down right here. Could there be like I guess like you're outdoors in the baseball field and all of a sudden you just see things coming? Maybe they do like projection mapping on the walls that like aliens are about to drop. And you just see these monsters tearing through the city. I don't know. I freaking don't know. Yeah, I really feel like this house is going to be just tension. You're just going to be continuously feeling tension. Can you stay quiet? Are you able to stay quiet? If you don't, there's going to be consequences. Just wanted to share that. I'll put a link to that full video if you guys want to watch it from Halloween Horror Nights themselves. But I just wanted to share more information as we find with these houses. And this is going to be a cool walkthrough. And I can't wait to do this with friends. It's going to be a blast. This maze seems like it has a lot of redoability just because of that concept that I'm saying, that maybe if you go through it and you are quiet, you're not going to trigger things. But if you can't help but make noise, it's just going to be a crazy walkthrough. Just monsters coming at you, I guess, the whole time. Post in the comments, what are your thoughts? I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys for watching Fine Fires YouTube. Smash that like button or firing it down.